Okay. So, my name is Anil Berwal. I work for Association for Democratic Reforms, which is the organization that had filed a PIL in 1999, based on which Supreme Court asked the Election Commission that whenever anybody contests elections, they have to declare their background information, specifically related to their criminal background, their financial asset details, education, liabilities that they may have, particularly to the government and other citizens. Since then, we have been doing election watches. So, so what we have today is about empowering voters, and the chair actually said that you should go into the main points. So I would actually go to the main point first. Can we go to the last slide, please? So, how many people here are interested or follow politics? Right? Now the problem is, if you follow politics, you also might be following CWG, 2G, 3G, Adarsh G, Mayawati G, Mulayam G, Yedurappa G, and there are a lot of Gs here. But how do you get information about them? Everybody is a G, and everybody is, up there that nobody can touch them. So we build an election watch software, and while we go through this presentation, if you want to get information about who is your G, that is your MLA or MP, you can just use this information on your mobile. You can send a SMS to 56070. You can type My Neta, and you can either give your PIN code, or you can also write your constituency name. You can just say Delhi East or Bangalore East or Ghaziabad or whatever it is, and you will get the information before the presentation is over. Can we get to the second slide now? So why this voter information? Now the biggest issue with this is because there is high level of criminalization. Everybody knows that the data which we started collecting after Supreme Court gave this order, we found even today in Lok Sabha, there are 162 MPs which have one or the other criminal cases on them. Rajya Sabha is the same. In the presidential election that just took place, 31% of all the MLAs and MPs, 5 of them have, very serious cases. A lot of them have murder-related cases and all that. So how do you get that information? When you ask these guys, do you have any criminal cases? They would say, no. We are clean and honest, and we are here to serve the people. So we get this information. We wanted to get this authentic information somehow and share with the voters. High influence of money during elections. Everybody knows that when elections are there, even recently when elections happened in Jharkhand, the election was countermanded while the voting was going on for the Rajya Sabha elections there. So, and Election Commission has got huge amount of money that goes into these electioning and buying votes. There is no information on these candidates. So, Suresh Kalmadi can come out and say, I want to go to Olympics because I'm a very clean guy. But what is the information on him? And lastly, there is very low accountability and almost no transparency in the working of political parties. See, these candidates, these MLAs, MPs, they are put up by political parties. So how do the voters get information about these politicians and the political parties? That is the reason we got into this election watch. Now, how do we do this? How do we provide this information? Now, can somebody go out and say that this guy, whoever it is, he is neck deep in corruption? I mean, if you try saying this, there will be serious repercussions. So what we do is, we get authentic, unbiased information and objective information on the candidates. So we take this information from Election Commission and we disseminate it through multiple channels. Also, this election watch is whatever we showed that it's not just SMS-based service, but it is part of the big multi-channel approach that we take. We have more than 1,200 organizations across India through whose help we try to disseminate this information to the voters. We have a chapter in every state of India. The problem is, unlike in other countries, when somebody contests elections here, there is no time when you declare that I'm going to contest elections and when the elections take place. So if somebody is contesting from your area, you have no idea who this guy is. and it is probably somebody who has got good connections within the political system, and they get the ticket at the right time. Also, the assets of several MLAs and MPs, they increase multifold. But again, there is no information about that. So we collect that information. Next slide. We collect that information and we put that in a software, and using various things like those more than 1,200 organizations which are across India, we have our website myneta.info, where we put all this information regarding the candidates, regarding political parties. We run a toll-free helpline. Anybody can call this helpline and get the information about either their candidates or the political party that they support. There is a SMS service, there is a push service, where we send information before the election. So, for example, now Himachal Pradesh and Gujarat are going to have elections in next couple of months. We have already collected a lot of information about the current MLAs. And as soon as the political parties start talking about who will get the tickets, we also start our SMS service. We start sending huge number of messages to the voters, to the MLAs also, to the political party leaders, to the booth level officers and all that. And then there is this push service, which is the slide I showed, where you can just, anybody can send a SMS and you get the information back. Now this SMS service, which is what this space is about, is active for 4 to 6 months during elections. The database includes MPs, MLAs, election observers, MyNeta users. Once you send an SMS to us, we put you in our database, and then we take your permission to send messages in future on this. Then there is push. So that's a simple SMS. So it says 50% MLAs with criminal records contesting 05 elections. Right? So this actually comes from Bihar elections. We had elections in Bihar 2010. So we said that 50% of MLAs who were selected in 2005 elections, 50% of them have criminal cases. You check information about your candidate before you vote. And this actually goes in Hindi, because in Bihar, so we do transliteration. So we just transliterate, we send in English, but it is Hindi language. Then there is this full SMS, which we just showed, and this is how the information comes out. So it says Assembly Constituency Muzaffarnagar, MLA is Chitranjan Saroop, criminal case is yes 3, assets 1.5 crores, liability this, and so on and so forth. In the last elections, we had elections in 5 states recently, including UP, Punjab, Goa, etc. We sent almost 50 lakh SMSs during those elections. Now, I'll quickly run through this. I think the time is less. But so there are a lot of stakeholders in this. The first is general voters. We give them a lot of information. We want them to decide what they want to do. The second one is media. Media also runs their own programs. You may have seen CNN or Z News. They run KYC, Know Your Candidate service during elections. They also use our database. Next. Civil society organizations, they are able to get this information, more in time, more objectively. And they are also, so political parties keep on blaming. Congress will say BJP has criminals. We are, no problems. And BJP will say, the same thing about Congress. So we give them, and we have a lot of these political parties who are coming to us. So for example, in last elections, every political party came to us asking for, can you give us information about MLAs of BSP? Because BSP was in power. Now BSP also came to us, can you give us information on SP and, Congress MLAs and MPs? So the civil society as well as political parties, they are also able to get this information and work internally within their parties to get this information. Now, what is the future? So this is the information we are showing on for the candidates, but already there is an Android app which we tested in the last municipal elections of Ludhiana, and hopefully in the next assembly elections we are going to roll that out. The information right now, quite a bit of information is going out on candidates, but we are also thinking of, already the data has been collected, but it will be integrated in mobile for the performance of MLAs, because I don't know how many you followed, but for example, UP, which is probably one of the most backward states, which needs more development, but the assembly sits there only 20 days in a year. So we want to let people know what their MLAs are doing, and we want to have that discussion by the voters that if you are contesting for an MLA or an MP, what are you going to do, whether you will attend assembly or not. So performance-related data party-related data, even campaign, the declared data on the election expenses. Those are some of the things which we'll be integrating, and hopefully we'll have that in the next upcoming elections. Thank you. If there are questions, I'll take them. It's actually based on the self-sworn affidavits that the candidate themselves file. So the candidate himself is saying, I have a murder case on me, I have a kidnapping case on me, I have a whatever case it is. So it's the candidate that has declared. We are not, nobody has done any investigation in that. The second thing is about the biasing information. So you're right. There are times when, these type of cases are filed against the politicians. But there are also times, and, almost all of us can count several of these cases where if you want to file a case against a politician, I guarantee you won't be able to do it. Even if you have a genuine case. And there is a lot of information. This mining thing which is going on in Bellary and, and a lot of other places. I mean, you can't file a case. You can't, right? So I think there are a lot of examples. So what we are saying is, we are not saying that, all we are saying is, this is the information, we are putting it in front of you, you decide what you want to do. So we are not saying you vote only for those people who don't have cases, because there can be times when there can be, politically motivated cases.
My question is, what is the impact of your pull and push services? Has it made any changes in the whole system? That is first question. Second question, as a citizen, I am not interested in the candidate's, my MLA or MP's profile. Can you provide information using any of your technology about the water level, means availability of the water, natural water resources, health, sanitation, public infrastructure, basic amenities, employability, shelter, food, etc., which are of matter of concern to the common man, because he is very busy with this. Let's say he is ignoring those other things. So, can you also provide me this information on mobile when I request you and pull or push basis only about 550 locations, 550 parliamentary constituencies?
Yeah. Okay, so good question. So the first is about impact. Now, there have been a lot of, in democracy, things move very slowly, and it's not just the election watch, which is the only factor there in whatever, if at all, there is any improvement in democracy. But I'll tell you, for example, if we look at in Lok Sabha 2004 elections and Lok Sabha 2009, and if we do a comparison of the criminal cases, for example, of MPs in Lok Sabha earlier in this one, we find that there are less MPs with heinous charges. So, for example, there was also an MP last time who had a rape case. This time there is no rape case. So, is that an improvement? I don't know. But there were more MPs which had murder cases related to them. This time Lalu Prasad is number 10 in the list. Last time he was nowhere in top 25. So I don't know if that is improvement, but I think in Indian democracy, just like in other democracies, things are moving now from blue-collar crime to white-collar crime. So I think impact is there if we look at the heinous murder and dacoity type of cases. But the white-collar crime, we have not been able to, I'm not saying we, but I think Indian citizens have not been able to make much headway. In fact, if we look at the profile of MPs, the number of such people are increasing to a very large extent. The second question is about bringing information on these development parameters of a constituency. I think that's a very good point. There is something that we have also tried doing before elections, but this is a huge problem that somebody needs to do. We will also try if we are able to do it.
The point I wish to make is, I appreciate your efforts. If the focus is on the basic amenities, all 550 constituencies, parliamentary constituencies, if you can profile in the 5 years how the status has changed and give a report card of 10 parameters or 5 parameters against each MP or MLA, that will bring a lot of impact.
Sir, I completely agree with you.
Hello. So, one question here. You're doing a brilliant job. I just figured out my MP has 5 cases against him.
Great.
Just now. How do you plan to monetize this? Because for you to sustain and send 40 lakh and 50 lakh SMSs, you need a way to be able to make money out of it?
Well, we are an NGO. We run on, the generous support of friends like you and other
Wonderful.
people in the room. If there are, but we are not asking for funds here. But the funding is a constant challenge for us. We have been a bit lucky that in the crucial elections, we have had some people come forward and give us funding. So, but we ourselves are not planning. We have no plans to try to get money out of our service. Okay, thank you.